Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. You know me, I'm Tom. Do I have some explaining to do? Well, let's get right into it. Obviously, the people that are on my channel notice that I've not been posting any videos in quite a while, over 2 weeks, I think. And there is a reason for it. I took a break from the internet, but I've also been going through a lot of stuff too, as you guys already know or may not know. The health thing is constantly poking up its ugly head. And I won't bore you to death with the final results, but I finally met somebody at the VA, a young doctor, okay? And I explained to him, look, I've been admitted to the hospital at WakeMed North 3 times. I've also been in the VA under y'all's care once, here in an emergency room in the Durham location, the Durham VA. And I gave him the whole background story, okay? Because he was willing to listen. And then he said, I'll call WakeMed up and get their notes and compare what I see and what they've diagnosed, and compare the two and see what we come up with. I was there for about 2 hours. They did the normal stuff: blood work, x-rays, blood pressure, temperature, just all the normal stuff. They're going to put you through that basic system no matter what. So what ended up happening is this. When I was in the Army, I got put through, just like every other soldier in basic, through the gas chamber. And we had to go through twice, okay? Well, not realizing it, that it actually ruined my sinus cavity, okay? It basically just made it ultra sensitive. It's been, I was breathing that stuff, came out of there coughing and gagging, skin burning, whole 9 yards. Well, I did get some benefits from that from the VA for being, gassed, not chemical foam, not pit fires or anything like that through the Iraqi war. I didn't get that. Mine was strictly chemical, okay? Chemical foreign biological agent. So, as I grew older, and because I was a smoker, I developed sinusitis. And not a mild case of it, a severe case of it. And it persisted all my life. And it stayed dormant. Because I didn't have any problems. Not until 2.5 months ago is when it all came like the perfect storm. That's exactly what happened. Now, I had to contend with some weird shit 2.5 months ago. I was out here on a Sunday cutting grass as normal. When I went to sleep that night, I knew that my sinuses were fully clogged, and I could almost feel like a cold coming on. The fever, flu, whatever you want to call it. I said, oh shit, I'm going to be sick for a few days. Here we go. Well, all that drained that night into my lungs, because I have no sinus cavity anymore. So it just goes right down my throat, either into my stomach or into my lungs, depending on the situation. And being that my sinuses got affected that day, that night, I went to sleep. Well, guess what? Laying on your back, everything went into my lungs. Everything. And that's when I got sick and got admitted to the VA the first time around, where they underdiagnosed me. Then WakeMed treated the symptoms. Okay? Twice. Did a good job. But I was still coughing, hacking up shit. Just crazy, man. That was for 2 solid months. Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Went through hell. I went through hell, man. Am I still rolling? Yeah, looks like I'm still rolling. We had one of these weather emergency alerts. It's been raining. It's been raining here for 2 solid days. Let's say in North Carolina, we've got way too much rain. Sorry if there's like a little blip in the video right there. I thought I was going to have to start this all over again, but I'm gonna keep rolling with this one. It just looks like my timer's still on, so it's still clocking the video. All right, well, so what it ended up happening is I went through all those procedures, taking all those drugs, breathing treatments, drugs, everything that they told me to do. I did everything they told me to do. And I'm still coughing and hacking up stuff. But this time it's not, a heavy green mucus, it was just clear. But I was still coughing. 2 months later, 2 months later, still got a little bit, I'm still a little bit. So here's what ended up, this young doctor did at the VA. He goes, your problem is your sinuses. That's where your problem is. He goes, it's not, when it goes into your lungs, that's already too late. We got to treat the problem, not the symptoms. And I agreed with him. See, I still got a little bit of metallic taste in my mouth too, from all the inhalers, So now he put me on a nasal steroid. And believe it or not, I've been able to sleep for the last 3 days. Finally. And I'm not coughing near as much, nowhere near. That's going to take some time. Even after you quit smoking, it takes 11 years to repair your lungs. I had a major lung infection. And, well, anyway, and then guess what? Then the C.O.P.D. jumped up and lifted its ugly head. And now they're testing if I have or I don't have C.O.P.D., which is a lung disease. Oh, man. I came out here last Friday and cut the grass. I mean, my stuff's looking pretty good. I mean, I broke out the weed eater. I mean, I went after everything, man. Cleaned up everything. The fence line. I got to do some work on the fence that's falling apart. This is my original fence right there. So it's pretty old. 8 years old, 9 years old. It's starting to fall apart. But I already know the creek in the back is raging. It's raging pretty good right now. It's up. But it drains off pretty good, so it'll flood out one day, the next day it's like half, 50%, not as bad. But yeah, that's kind of the story. What's been going on. We're all going to face eventually some sort of issues in our life. And then we're either prepared to deal with it or we're not. Thank God I do have VA. And I got Medicare. I mean, I just have to pay a deductible, a copay, and, prescription drugs. I still got to pay for prescription drugs. I get a deal with the VA, but under civilian hospitals, I don't. I have to pay the retail, whatever that is. But a lot of times they can transfer those prescriptions to the VA, and then I basically I pay $8, for drugs. That's it. When I came out of Wake Med, it cost me $450 in drugs. And all of that was basically a waste in a weird way because, like I said, it was just treating the symptoms, not treating the root cause of the whole problem, So what's going on too, the motorcycle, my BMW GS, has been in the shop going on now for 3 months. It's fixed. It's completely fixed. We're waiting on one part, which is in the United States. It's a clutch line. And there's only one in all of the United States, one clutch line. And we were able to get our hands on it, but it's taken a long time to get it shipped to us. I don't know why. Well, I don't even know what state it's coming out of. Hell, it could be in South Carolina, still taking over a week or more just to get this part. And then, now the weather is cooler. Thank God, we're out of the hundreds. Now we're in the mid 80s, which is great. And also too, a lot of rain, man. A lot of rain. We've broken all records as far as rainfall in the state of North Carolina. We've broken all records. 100 years worth of records, they were all shattered with the amount of rain that North Carolina has gotten. So, wow, that's kind of a tragedy, you know. But I would rather have that than what we had once before, drought. And we've been in a drought before, let me tell you, and it's been pretty ugly around here. You know, guys, let me say something about YouTube. I've actually now, the channel has gone down to almost nothing, basically. No new subscribers. The view counts almost crashed and burned. And that's the problem with YouTube, is that if you're not constantly uploading, or you're not some sort of, you know, gamer, or, you know, some sort of, you know, do video for kids and whatever, you know, if you're not constantly putting out all these elaborate, you know, extremely, you know, not monetized, but edited videos, you know, eventually it's just going to end up with no traction. My channel's starting to get to that point where it's got no traction. And it's not for the lack of participation by you guys at all. It's just the channel's getting buried in all the algorithms, and that's pretty much it. You know, I am not the hot topic of the day. Oh no, no. You know, all fairness, thank you for the last 10 years of being on the channel with Mr. Fix-All and me. And, you know, I really do appreciate that, because it's been a lot of fun. It's been entertaining. You know, you're like my extended family on the internet. So, you know, I tell you all my problems. I bitch and complain about everything, you know, and you guys sit back and either you give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whichever you do, and it's all good. So on that note, Tom out of here. Sorry, haven't posted in a long time. And again, still here, still alive, still kicking, still doing my thing. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay blessed.